Every day, millions of people across America reach for Tylenol without a second thought. It's a household name, a trusted companion in our medicine cabinets, relied upon to ease headaches, fevers, and everyday aches. For decades, Tylenol was a symbol of comfort and safety, a simple solution to life's minor pains. But in the fall of 1982, that trust was shattered in a way no one could have imagined. News reports interrupted regular programming, and families gathered around their televisions, faces etched with worry and disbelief. In a quiet suburb just outside Chicago, the ordinary morning routine took a dark turn. Someone reached for Tylenol to soothe a sore throat, expecting nothing more than relief. But instead, tragedy struck with terrifying speed. A sudden collapse, a life lost in moments, and confusion rippled through the community. No one could understand what had happened, or why a trusted medicine had become so deadly. The culprit was hidden in plain sight, a familiar bottle, now transformed into a vessel for death. The very thing meant to heal had become a silent killer, lurking among the everyday items in our homes. And this was no isolated tragedy. As the hours passed, more cases emerged. Panic began to spread, and the city braced itself for more bad news. What started as a single mysterious death quickly became the beginning of a wave of terror that swept across Chicago, leaving families and neighborhoods on edge. The killer didn't need a gun or a knife, just access to a store shelf and a bottle of pills. The simplicity of the crime made it all the more chilling, and the randomness left everyone feeling vulnerable. The Tylenol murders would soon become a national nightmare, exposing the fragility of the trust we place in the products we use every day. Families everywhere began to question the safety of their own medicine cabinets. It all began on an ordinary September morning, with a single capsule hiding a deadly secret, one that would change the way America thought about safety, trust, and the products we bring into our homes. The story of the Tylenol murders is a chilling reminder. Even the most familiar things can turn dangerous in an instant, and sometimes the greatest threats are the ones we never see coming. September 29, 1982. Elk Grove Village, Chicago. The air is crisp, the leaves just starting to turn, and the city is waking up to what seems like an ordinary autumn morning. But beneath the surface, something unimaginable is about to unfold, an event that will shatter the sense of safety in homes across America. 12-year-old Mary Kellerman wakes up feeling unwell, her parents concerned but unaware that this is no ordinary illness. She complains of a sore throat and a headache, the kind of symptoms every parent has seen 100 times before. Trusting in the familiar red and white bottle, her parents give her Tylenol, hoping it will ease her discomfort and let her rest. It's a routine act, one repeated in millions of homes every day, but within minutes, Mary collapses. Paramedics rush to the scene, but it's too late. She dies suddenly, leaving her family in shock and grief with no answers. That same day, just a few miles away in Arlington Heights, 27-year-old Adam Janus is at home, feeling chest pain. He, too, reaches for Tylenol, seeking relief from what he thinks is a minor ailment. Moments later, he collapses and dies, his family left reeling. In the chaos and heartbreak, Adam's family gathers to mourn. Grieving, his brother Stanley and Stanley's wife Teresa also take Tylenol from the same bottle, hoping to soothe their own headaches and stress. Within hours, both Stanley and Teresa collapse, their lives slipping away in the very home where they had come to grieve. 3 members of one family, gone in a single day. The tragedy is almost too much to comprehend. Doctors are baffled, the symptoms are sudden, the deaths inexplicable. There is no clear cause, no warning, and no pattern, at least not yet. The deaths seem random, impossible to connect, until 2 firefighters and a nurse, piecing together the details, notice a chilling common thread. Each victim had taken Tylenol just before collapsing. The realization is horrifying. The medicine trusted by millions, a staple in every household, is now the prime suspect. The killer isn't a person, it's the very thing meant to heal. As word spreads, panic ripples through the community. News reports interrupt regular programming, and families everywhere begin to question the safety of their own medicine cabinets. The first domino has fallen, and a cascade of terror is unleashed. What began as isolated tragedies now feels like the start of an unstoppable chain reaction. The deaths are no longer isolated, they're the beginning of something much bigger, a crisis that will grip the nation and change the way Americans think about safety in their own homes. The city is on edge. Police and detectives scramble for answers, racing against time to prevent more deaths as fear spreads from house to house. The killer's weapon is already in millions of homes, hidden in plain sight. Every bottle of Tylenol is now a potential threat. The question on everyone's mind, how many more will fall before the truth is uncovered? How many more families will be shattered? The Tylenol murders have begun, and nothing will ever be the same. News of the Tylenol deaths explodes across Chicago, igniting panic and confusion. The city, once bustling with everyday routines, is suddenly paralyzed by a wave of terror. Headlines scream warnings, and the air is thick with anxiety as people try to make sense of the unfolding nightmare. Radios and televisions blare urgent updates, and rumors swirl through neighborhoods faster than the facts can keep up. Police race through neighborhoods, warning, "Do not take Tylenol." Their voices echo down quiet streets, urging families to check their homes and stay alert. Patrol cars cruise block after block, their lights flashing like beacons of both hope and dread. The city's protectors are on high alert, but even they seem powerless against an invisible threat. People empty their medicine cabinets, terrified that relief could mean death. Parents frantically search for bottles, tossing them into the trash with shaking hands. The simple act of reaching for pain relief has become a gamble with fate, and no one knows which bottle might be the next to kill. The killer's randomness is the most chilling part. Anyone could be next. Victims are everyday people, a new mother, a flight attendant, a working mom. Their stories are heartbreakingly ordinary, making the tragedy feel even closer to home. The randomness of the poisonings means no one feels safe, and every family wonders if they could be next. Their only mistake was trusting a familiar brand. Tylenol, once a symbol of comfort and relief, is now a source of suspicion and fear. The trust that people placed in their medicine cabinets has been shattered overnight. The city's sense of safety evaporates. Streets that once bustled with life are eerily quiet as people stay indoors, afraid to risk even the smallest exposure. Neighbors glance nervously at each other, wondering if the danger is closer than they think. Every bottle, every package is suspect. Pharmacies and homes alike become scenes of suspicion, as people scrutinize labels and seals, searching for any sign of tampering. The familiar has become foreign, and nothing feels safe. Johnson & Johnson recalls 31 million bottles, a $100 million move to protect the public. Shelves are stripped bare, and the company scrambles to contain the crisis, but the damage to public confidence is already done. Health officials scramble to test capsules, but fear spreads faster than answers. Laboratories work around the clock, but the city's anxiety only grows as each new report brings more questions than solutions. The invisible killer has poisoned not just medicine, but the public's trust. The sense of security that once came with a simple pill has vanished, replaced by doubt and suspicion. The city is united by fear, desperate for answers. Community meetings fill with anxious faces, and neighbors cling to each other, searching for reassurance in a world turned upside down. The question on everyone's mind, who did this and will they strike again? Theories and rumors swirl, but the truth remains elusive, deepening the city's sense of helplessness. The Tylenol phantom is out there and no one feels safe. The hunt is on, but until answers come, Chicago remains a city haunted by fear, its trust shattered and its people forever changed. Investigators quickly identify the poison potassium cyanide, a deadly chemical that suffocates cells in minutes. The killer had to buy Tylenol, open the capsules, replace the medicine with cyanide, and return the bottles to store shelves. It was a methodical, chilling act, designed for maximum terror. Law enforcement races to find the source, but security cameras are rare and clues are few. Stores are mapped, employees questioned, but the pattern is random. The nationwide recall prevents more deaths, but the killer remains a ghost. No fingerprints, no witnesses, no motive. Was it corporate sabotage, revenge, or pure malice? The Tylenol killer has vanished, leaving only fear and unanswered questions. Just as hope fades, Johnson & Johnson receives a chilling letter. The writer claims responsibility for the poisonings, demanding $1 million to stop the killings. The letter is arrogant, taunting, a rare clue in a case defined by shadows. The FBI analyzes the language, searching for hints about the author. The postmark is from New York, and the bank account leads to a stolen identity. The real suspect emerges, James Lewis, a man with a history of fraud and grudges. Lewis's wife once worked for the travel agency tied to the stolen identity. The extortion letter fits his pattern, but it's not enough to prove he's the killer. Prosecutors have a suspect for the letter, but not for the murders. The line between extortionist and murderer remains blurred. The investigation shifts, but the central mystery endures. The Tylenol case is far from solved. James Lewis is a man of secrets, aliases, grudges, and schemes. He's intelligent, with a background in chemistry and a history of threats. Records place him in Chicago during the Poisonings, but there's no physical evidence tying him to the crime. When caught, Lewis toys with investigators, offering hypothetical scenarios but denying involvement. He admits to the extortion letter, claiming it was a misguided attempt to expose a vulnerability. Convicted of attempted extortion, he serves 12 years in prison. After release, he lives quietly but remains the prime suspect. The Tylenol case is never closed. Investigators watch and wait for a breakthrough. Lewis maintains his innocence and the murders remain officially unsolved. The families of the victims are left without justice. For 40 years, the Tylenol murders haunt America as a cold case. In 2023, James Lewis dies, taking his secrets to the grave. With him gone, investigators reveal what they've long suspected. Lewis's daughter died in surgery using Johnson & Johnson sutures, a possible motive for revenge. Forensic analysis of the extortion letter's postmark suggests Lewis mailed it before the poisonings were public, implying foreknowledge. The evidence, motive, opportunity, and pattern convinces law enforcement Lewis was the killer. But it's all circumstantial, never enough for a conviction. The case closes with a posthumous declaration. The Tylenol Phantom had a name. But the official record remains unsolved. The Tylenol murders changed America forever. Before 1982, few worried about product tampering. Afterward, everything changed. Johnson & Johnson's swift recall became a model for corporate crisis response. The most lasting legacy tamper-evident packaging, triple-sealed bottles, plastic wraps, and foil lids became the new standard. Congress passed anti-tampering laws and safety seals appeared on everything from aspirin to peanut butter. Today we instinctively check for broken seals, a habit born from tragedy. The 7 victims did not die in vain. Their loss sparked a revolution in consumer safety. The sealed bottle is a silent guardian, a reminder of the price of trust. The world learned a hard lesson. Safety must be visible, not assumed. The Tylenol murders left a legacy that protects us all. Decades later, the Tylenol murders still haunt the American psyche. The case shattered our faith in everyday safety, proving danger can hide in plain sight. It forced a new vigilance. Every product, every seal, every package is now suspect. The fear lingers, resurfacing with every report of tampering. The case showed how easily trust can be broken, and how hard it is to restore. Even with new safeguards, the memory of those poisoned capsules endures. The Tylenol murders changed America, leaving a permanent mark on our sense of security. Trust once lost is never fully regained.